Welcome everyone, thanks for tuning in. Today, it's all about the brand new LMU DLC. I'm super hyped, I love new content for LMU because literally LMU is one of my favorite sims right now in the moment. And we get 2 new GT3 cars and 1 new track, and without waiting too long, I would say we jump right now onto the new track with the first new GT3 car. Now, here, already in the pit lane, on the new track. I'm not sure if you can already guess it, but I will just say nothing first. You hear only the sound of the car. Maybe you can tell me which one we're driving right now. So leave a guess in the comments maybe. But now we leave the pits, and I think now it's pretty obvious. We are on Lusail. Like a really incredible track, I have to say. It's a lot of fun to push. And honestly, it took me a long time to learn this track, because if you look, it's pretty flat and it's hard to distinguish which corner you are like right now, if that makes sense. So for example, this corner I always messed up the exit because I thought it would open up, but it's still closing a bit, you know, on the exit here. So this was a bit tricky, I have to say. And also this corner, you really think every single time that essentially here the corner starts to open up, but then again it's still closing. This corner is also the same story. It doesn't open up as early as you would think, so it's pretty hard to learn the track. Also, for example, this corner here, you brake on the outside and you really need to brake earlier than you think, because you need to be here on the inside. And this corner again, it doesn't open up, it just stays really tight on the exit. Then this next right-hander, you need to brake really softly and gently into the corner and be patient, and only go into the power where you actually know that the corner is done. Here for the left-hander, you just stay onto the left side, do a lift, cut here a lot, and here you need to be really careful to not run too wide, because you need to be here on the right side to prepare this left-hander quite well. Right. Here, funny enough, you know, this is what I mean. Like, this corner from the curbs and colors and everything, it looks pretty similar like that happened before. So, when you learn this track, it's like a bit irritating. Like, am I now in this corner or the other one? So, that's why I would definitely advise you to maybe watch maybe even some real life onboards to just get it into your head. Because yeah, I watched F1, the races here sometimes, also back a bit, but it still is completely different if you're in the car, if you get what I mean. So what I would definitely recommend you is watch some onboards so you just can memorize everything more, because everything's so flat and looks so similar. It's really hard, and I think it's one of the tracks where I had to spend the most time learning with, and I'm still not on the perfect level like on the other tracks, because it's so tough. And yeah, this hairpin opens up quite nicely, so here you can be really early on the power. And then you try to bring the car slightly over to the left side. And here, really crucial, don't really brake too hard. You use the brake to get the car into the corner, get some weight in the front axle, and then you can go already onto the power. It's like a quick triple right-hander basically. Same here, just maybe tap on the brakes, back on the power, run wide, maximize the track. Tap on the brakes, maybe a bit more here, because you need to slow down slightly more. Maximize the track, bring the car here over. Brake before the sprinkler sign. Patience, and on the power at the apex. And be careful, like you have a lot of gravel traps here on the exit, where the car can get slowed down, and depending on the angle you drive over it, yeah, you might even lose the car. And this last corner, really important to get not too early on the power, because the corner is also closing up on the exit, so you really need to drive a later apex, otherwise you drive like that and that's then a cut instantly, right? And honestly, I will now show you the car which we were driving here, the outlet with it, and maybe you've guessed right, but it was the wonderful Lamborghini GT3. And I have to say, first impressions and also building setups on Fuji and Interlagos for it, I'm positively surprised how the Studio 397 team was able to deliver such an incredible, unique driving Lamborghini, which looks like from the onboards, if you compare it how it feels subjectively for me, it looks like you almost drive it the same, because it still is it's really nimble. It has a lot of rotation potential, let's say, but it's still, if you have a nice setup, I have to say, you still have the necessary stability, which is surprising because random thought, is the rear cam not centered? Lol. You see it? Like, if you look where the yellow line is, and then you go below the Iron Links name, or it's just above the Lamborghini sign, actually. Yeah. Anyway, back to the topic. I'm just so happy that we have now one Lambo in the entire sim community. Let's say, in all those different sims, this Lambo has the rotation it has in real life, it looks like, and still is more stable than in other sims. So I'm really positively surprised. And guys, the sound. What is this? How can you make so incredible sounds? Honestly, like LMU team again outdone themselves. What is this? But I could literally drive the entire day basically here in this cam, like not like I'll basically sit on the couch and just enjoy the sound. Like, listen to that. How can you make this kind of sound, this quality? Then here, the downshifts, unbelievable. Like, honestly, I would drive just for the looks and for this vibe in this view. Like, how? And I mean, then you go into the onboard, and it sounds literally almost like one-to-one, like if you watch an onboard from the real Lambo. It's crazy, honestly. And yeah, those are my thoughts about the Lambo. Let's just jump quickly into the Lexus, have a look there at the sound and how it feels on this track, and afterwards maybe also slightly my opinion about the new Tyre model. But yeah, without further ado, let's jump into the Lexus. And now here in the Lexus, I even moved the camera a bit backwards, so we even see a touch of the HUD. But yeah, I mean, on display, let's say. Sound, I mean, in pit lane, of course, can't hear too much, right? Now exiting. Yeah, it's pretty, frequency-wise, I would say definitely a bit lower than the Lambo. I mean, of course, also a different engine, right? What I noticed overall, I have to say, on the other tracks, this car has like a tendency to be not that nice over curbs. Like, it's pretty sensitive there, so just be careful when you drive. Like, this car doesn't like to take the curbs that much. But driving wise, it's again so unique. I have to say, it's crazy how they made this work. And overall, I would say I drove the Lambo much more than the Lexus, so I can't, like, that's why my impressions are a bit more, yeah, just a bit more deep, if we want to call it like that, right? But here, the force feedback again, it's just something else, I have to say. It's just an enjoyable experience, and just after this happened now, which you see, it's really easy to miss the apex. The sound, come on man, how is this possible? Do you hear this? Also the curb sounds like one-to-one, like IRL. Look, I almost lost the car here over the curb. That's what I mean, the car is pretty, you need to be careful a bit. Also, of course, also cold tires. Yeah, cold tires are definitely way harder now to drive with, like, and that's why there will be also a video how to master cold tires. With the new update on the tire. But the sound, I mean, just listen to it. We will rev it out here. Maybe even go to the limiter. Incredible. Just incredible, honestly. What do you need more? Some free time and LMU, and you're good to go. And and you'll have a really nice time. Like this, like, I love the sound. It's, I don't know what really to say. But yeah, Lexus wise, I would say nicely balanced. Maybe has a touch more, definitely more understeer than the Lambo when you push it. So you need to drive it also slightly different. You need to be a bit more axis focused because you can't rotate the car that well on the entry, I would say. And yeah, be careful with the curbs, of course. But besides that, this car is also so nice to drive, honestly. Well, really. If I had to pick between the Lambo and the Lexus, I would for sure pick the what? And there we go. The Lambo, just from the experience I had with it. I really like the feeling and the behavior of the Lambo. But yeah, that's about those two cars. Some short. Wait. A couple of words more for about Lusail. I think, yeah, really nice track. I'm not sure how the racing will be. I think multi-class is just proper madness because of the type of the layout. Because those hypercars can take way higher corner speeds, especially in this section. So it will be quite some fun. See how the car steps out over the curb. I need to be careful there. But yeah, I think nice to have this track. We always love track content, right? And yeah. This is about the car and track content, I would say. And now you get a couple of more words from my side about the new Tyre Model. So let's just jump quickly to the conclusion about the new Tyre Model. So when it comes about the Tyre Model, I would say, if we would say basically this was the level, right, where the previous Tyre Model was, right, I would say we made pretty a high jump now. Why do I say that? I think the Tyre Model, it's much more crisp. You feel much more connected to the tarmac or to the car even. You feel, because of that, way more in control. And overall, you can't really throw the car that much into the corner. The slip angle is a bit more tight. You can still play slightly around with the car, with the rear, but you will get punished if you basically flick the car into the corner or try to really drift it and go fast. At least that's my impression. Maybe if you found something different, you can leave a, comment. But besides that, the Tyre Model just it feels more natural to drive, because if you know those this downhill left-hander at Interlagos on the old cars, you really had to force the car into the corner to grip up, and now the front end has enough grip to just go there without any flicking, right? And it's more about when you do the same driving style, you end up losing the rear. So, of course, there's still always, some specifics to improve, right? Like with everything in life. But I think LMU made a major jump to the ultimate goal of a perfect tire, if we want to call it like that. And yeah, all in all, I think the update is one of the best. We get driver swaps even, and custom liveries, which is so cool, right? And it's nice to see LMU flourishing, because I think the guys deserve it. And let's just keep pushing. Let's keep just enjoying, the sim. And after my Renspot Esports World Cup, we'll come back for sure with some streaming. But yeah, if you're interested, by the way, in my Renspot journey, write a comment or so. Maybe I can also do some videos about that. But other than that, I really thank you for tuning in. I hope you had a nice time. I hope you will enjoy the new DLC. I think the developers did an incredible job as always, and it's really nice to see everything coming into places, basically, right? So, thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to leave a like or even subscribe to support my channel. Doesn't cost anything. And yeah, let's just enjoy this LMU journey together, I would say, right? Let's have fun, do some races, maybe in the future, more streams when I have the time. Unfortunately, I'm so busy right now. I love streaming, but I do it for fun, and if I don't have time for fun, then it's hard, right? So yeah, again, thanks for tuning in, and I see you in the next video. Bye-bye.